Welcome to Sovereign Citizen Legal Encounters. All right, today we have a sovereign citizen in Judge Simpson's court. You may have seen it, just came out a couple days ago, but check out how he acts with Judge Simpson, and you'll see the little bit of drama. It's a short clip, and then we're going to go into a second video for a follow-up. All right, let's go.
Court calls case People versus Dwight Miller.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
And Assistant Public Defender Jay Bellinger on behalf of Mr. Miller, who approaches your. Mr. Miller, can you please state your name for the record?
Dwight Miller.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, my belief is that my client does want to set this for preliminary examination. However, I am uncertain. He and I have had some conversations, and frankly, I believe he wants to make some statements to the court. I advise him against it, but at this point, I think he wants to talk.
Wants to talk, and the attorney is nervous? That's a big mistake right there.
So we're understanding this is a criminal matter, right?
It is.
Okay, so basically, man, it stemmed from a falsality. All this whole thing, I was falsely arrested, something I never did. I got a sworn affidavit.
Sir, I'm sure your counsel has advised you. I'm going to advise you to not say anything else about the subject matter of the case.
Okay.
If you'd like it set for preliminary examination.
I want to challenge jurisdiction.
You want to challenge jurisdiction?
Yes.
Of whom?
Y'all have a jurisdiction of a case that doesn't exist against me.
On what grounds?
What crime did I commit?
Pardon?
What crime did I commit?
Allege that you committed the crime.
I didn't commit that crime.
If you want to interrupt me, I'll answer your question. But if you want to keep interrupting me, I'm not going to play that way. I'll answer your question. You're accused of the crime of attempted resist, or not attempted, but resisting and obstructing a police officer.
So we all aware that this never transpired, right?
I am not aware of that.
Okay.
Is that all you have to say?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So, Your Honor, I would ask Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller, I'm not submitting frivolous motions.
If you want them submitted, submit it yourself.
Can I get my affidavit put in on the record, please?
Affidavit.
My affidavit of the incident that transpired.
Your affidavit of what?
The facts in the case. My statement of what happened. Can I get it on the record?
There will be an opportunity if you so choose, if this goes to a further proceeding, for you to put whatever evidence you want into the court. But this is not the time to do that.
Really? So when is the time to put the evidence in there?
If you want it set for a preliminary examination, you'll have that opportunity. And if it proceeds to trial, you'll also have that opportunity.
Right.
So once again, I'll ask, do you want to set this for preliminary examination, Mr. Miller?
Sure.
Thank you.
Not really.
See, do you want to set it for prelim, or do you want an adjournment?
Preliminary examination.
Thank you.
It's obvious the attorney's not happy.
To your knowledge, all discoveries.
To my knowledge, yes, Your Honor.
People have their witnesses available the 24th.
Yes.
We could try for that date, Your Honor, if possible. I might ask to go one. No, let's do that date. Thank you.
All right. Preliminary examination in person will be set June 24th, 2025, 9 a.m. That is before Judge Washington.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Judge Simpson seemed to be very happy that he's not coming back to his court. When he read off Judge Washington, he had a big smile on his face. All right, we get ready to go to the next video, which is the follow-up from Estrada in Kansas. Yes, he came back again. And you may have seen it, may not. I'm a few days late on it because I was debating if I was going to put it up because this guy's just been going on and on and on. But you can let it play, listen to it, like it, whatever you want to do. But before we get into that, let's have a word from one of our sponsors.
Welcome, misunderstood citizens, to the Lords of Legal Fiction, where the law is whatever we scribble on a napkin at 3 a.m. after 6 Red Bulls. Are you tired of government tyranny like stop signs, taxes, and reality? Do you believe the secret to freedom is screaming, "I do not consent," at a confused police officer? Then boy, do we have the legally binding imaginary loopholes for you. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Hutch, at Sovereign Citizen Encounters.
I'm Hutch, and I approve this message.
After graduating our masterclass, cops will be on their knees begging for your forgiveness. You learn how to deliver your rightful message with conviction and power. Never calmly say,
"I'm not driving, I'm traveling."
No, no, no. Scream it like you mean it. Enroll in our Lords of Legal Fiction masterclass to learn how to turn every traffic stop into a constitutional crisis and every courtroom into your personal improv show. Why pay a lawyer when you can just cite maritime law and accuse the judge of being a hologram? On sale now is our Sucker Bundle. You get 1 US DOT license plate, 1 attractive and sturdy license plate holder, 1 legal only to you passport, and these impressive sheets of constitutional law that you can give to your rights-busting cop. Act now, and you can be impervious to the law and courts. You can even tear the tags off mattresses without the threat of punishment. Seriously, don't let this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity slip away. Offer not valid in 48 states. Some assembly required. Member, FDIC. Batteries not included. May cause nausea and headaches. Sylvanry is addictive. If you need help, call Jail Me Now at 1-800-555-1212.
Okay, that's for entertainment purposes, and I am not selling anything to sovereign citizens. You understand? That is not a real package, and I want to give a shout out to Ted. Ted, one of the subscribers, made that for me. That's all he wanted me to say. I appreciate it, Ted. That was nice. That was fun. And let's go into this hearing in Kansas. All right, let's go.
Now then, let's take up Abel Estrada Jr. Mr. Estrada, you'll need to start your audio and your video.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We are on the record in 2024 TR 617, State of Kansas versus Abel Estrada Jr. Assistant County Attorney Paul E. Dean for the state. The defendant appears in person and pro se. The defendant, let's see, this first appearance back in October of 24. After being dismissed and refiled from municipal court and some failures to appear, then we had a bench trial February 14th, 2025, and the defendant was found guilty and ordered to pay $108 in court costs and the scheduled fine, with the court specifically ordering that if he appeals, an appeal bond set at the amount of costs and fines had to be paid before or at the time of the appeal. We had a peer review February 28th, 2025. Somehow he was attempting and made some efforts to file the appeal without a bond. He had gone through a couple of attorneys and then ended up representing himself.
Also determine whether he's actually properly docketed it. He's told us that he has. He's told us that he's talked to people in the clerk's office and that it's taken care of. But to date, there is not one piece of paperwork in my file that shows anything from the Court of Appeals, which we would have received electronic notification Should have received notification of the docketing, should have received notification of the motion to be filed to waive for the Court of Appeals to waive the appeal bond. I believe you referenced something of that nature at that time. I may be mistaken on that.
That's why I was walking through the history. That's what I'm finding too. When he was here, May 9th, 2025, another payer peer review. Let's see. The defendant said he is outside the jurisdiction of this magistrate as he is strictly under the appeal court authority, that he had an appeal court case number, so I could not enforce the order for appeal bond or sentence, basically. So, have you paid? It does, Mr. Estrada, did you pay the fine ordered of 158? The court file says you haven't. Looks like you had 108 court costs and a $50 fine for illegally display of license plate or not display.
Your Honor, I take that back. I think my office has finally found something.
Okay.
It just has not, the paperwork has not hit the file. Looks like transcript's been completed. Oh, well, table of, okay, we did receive, apologize, notice, court docketing notice, appellate court docketing notice. So I think actually at this point in time with that, and that, I don't know why it took so long to get to us, but with that, we can remove this case from this docket and we will take care of it at the Court of Appeals.
Let me see if I find everything. Okay, suspension.
I will have my office, I'm going to ask them to file that of record in this, at the trial court level. That way we have that in there. Judge, you don't see, you can't see that from your end?
Well, let me see. I'm seeing the transcripts.
And we did receive a letter. That's probably an emailed letter, but it is appellate court case number 128,986.
Okay.
So.
Okay, I did find it. Thank you.
Current jurisdiction at this point in time from the district. Court. So.
All right. Well, we will just wait and see what the Court of Appeals thinks about your conviction, and I guess they're not going to enforce the order to pay the bond. So if the Court of Appeals decides that piece of paper was sufficient for requirements of tag violations, they'll let you go and it'll be over. But if they find that the conviction should be sustained, that that piece of cardboard that you bought from someone was not a legal tag, then they'll let us know and you'll still owe that money.
There's been a lot of court time invested in this $158.
Now, what I'm wondering, Mr. Dean, I think we might need to look at what appears to be some suspensions on his record for not payment, because if those suspensions for non-payment were filed by our county clerk or our district clerk after the appeal was docketed, those may need to be revisited. If they were done by the Department of Revenue in Topeka at any point in time, I can't overrule or override them. You have any thoughts on that?
Your Honor, I don't know who would have initiated that, because the case had been on continuance. I mean, the orders are quite clear in this case. They would have received that notice of appeal. So I guess we just need to reach out to the clerk's office. If Missy, if you could reach out to them on that, maybe we can find out an answer to that. I would agree there should be no suspensions as a base from this case, that the Court of Appeals has indicated on the letter that I just saw that they considered it properly, timely docketed. The appeal is timely filed, so there should be no suspensions as a result of this matter until we're back here or the Court of Appeals says that it's overturned.
But Mr. Estrada, you might be mindful and check your driver's license and see if the status is suspended. Because it could cause you some grief if you're out there driving around with a suspended license, even though we may be able to clarify it eventually and correct if it needs correct it eventually, but it could cause some headache for both you and for this court and the prosecutor having to come back and visit that. So,
and Mr. Estrada, why I've asked the judge's administrative assistant to check with the clerk's office because she's right down the hall from them. I think it would probably also behoove you to contact the Kansas Department of Motor Vehicles and question them about that status. You may find it easier to send them a fax because they're quite difficult to get to get a hold of anybody by phone. In any event, that's all I have, Your Honor.
okay.
Well, I did get 3 different letters saying that I needed to pay, and I called them and I told them that I'm already in the appellate court, and there's no reason why I should be suspended. Is this gonna cause me any more problems? Is this something that I can call you back so you can confirm to whoever I'm talking to?
You don't need to convince me of anything on that issue. What I'm telling you is I'm agreeing with you, but the state of Kansas, for some reason, has a different opinion, and I think they're wrong. I'm just telling you, you ought to probably reach out and try to speak to them further yourself. Perhaps send them a copy of the appellate court docketing statement, things of that nature. Maybe that'll help clear it up for them.
Okay.
All right, Your Honor. Can we take a short break before we get into our 10 o'clock? I don't have anything further.
All right. We're just gonna hold tight until the appeal is done. I'm not gonna set another case this time, Mr. Estrada. You're excused from today's hearings.
Well, I can tell you, I'm sure that court is tired of him as the defendant, sovereign citizen or whatever. And I'm sure a lot of the viewers are tired of watching this guy too. But follow-ups are follow-ups. I said I would do it. I'm going to keep bringing it to you. So, yeah, I hope you have a good day, even a night. Who knows when he comes back with this appeal and everything going on. But I hope you enjoyed both videos. And I'll see you around the next one.